Kublal's residence. And after that election, residents asked me, how could the PPP get so many votes in Sophia? We didn't vote. It is that feeling in 2015. It is that feeling in 2015. Now, I fast forward to 2015. When the people saw the Honorable Member, Mr. Hamilton, in front of Kublal's residence with certain materials which resembled election materials because they had voted and they saw similar containers used as ballot boxes. And so they felt that he and his companions were taking ballot boxes into that house. And that is why I was referencing these incidents, because the people were annoyed. They felt that an illegal polling station was being set up there. And so they assembled around that house to bring attention to what they perceived to be an illegality which would have been taking place again. Mr. Speaker,
Honourable Member, you have to await your turn in the list. I do not know whether you're done to speak, but let us allow the Honourable Member to make a statement.
In fact, Mr. Speaker, if those in authority at that time had taken into account these malpractices and had moved to correct them, a much more acceptable environment would have existed. Perceptions would have been removed, and the likely result being prevention of election day violence would have resulted. Mr. Speaker, when you speak to persons in Sophia, they will tell you of the house the Honourable Member mentioned, and they will only talk to you about it in terms of what they perceive, what illegalities they perceive would have been happening there. Sir, I agree with the Honourable Member when he said that we must be allowed to campaign freely all over. I believe in that. I subscribe to that. The Saturday before the 2015 elections, May the 9th, I drove around the area and I passed through Seafield and I saw a huge cup in front of a house in red. And when I inquired, they said that that was Kublal's house, a PPP supporter. That's what I said. I felt happy. I was proud of the level of tolerance which the residents of Sophia was exercising in the face of all the APNU paraphernalia around, and this one cup was there undisturbed. The people accepted Kublal. Kublal as a businessman was supported by the residents. They went to his church. They did not boycott it like some other churches in Georgetown. They seemed quite comfortable having Kublal. But what irritated the public was when my honorable friend and the election, the materials he had which resembled the election material, they suspected wrongdoings. They have told me, Mr. Speaker, that when they challenged Honorable Member Hamilton and his colleagues, they did not get the response which would have satisfied them. And he walked away, went back into the building and left them out there. And then the entire thing went out of control. Mr. Speaker, the honorable member spoke of Inspector John Singh. I would have taken the Speaker's caution, because I am in possession of the conduct of that inspector on that day. And I visited the divisional commander, myself and two other of my retired colleagues. We visited Commander Griffith's office to complain about the action taken by that inspector. You see, Mr. Speaker, policing a community during an election requires impartial police. They talk about neutrality of the police. You cannot have neutrality of the police and the question of statements being given to the opposition. This statement, I wonder how we got it. Under normal conditions, I know, the statement ought to be sent through the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner must decide whether that statement should have gone where it now is. So, Mr. Speaker, the conduct of that crowd, the inability to control it over long hours, all rests with the fact that the people were distrustful of the police. The people felt that they could get no justice from the police because the police tended to be on one side. Kublan also was named to me, identified to me as like a go-to man in the community. You want a community policing group? You have to go to Kublan. But yet, he was displaying in an overt way where his political support lied. Once you're associated with the police, you have to be neutral or appear to be neutral. Neutral all the time. You want me over there? Mr. Speaker, on the night of May 11, 2015, they saw images of 2011 about to take place, and they could not stand their votes being stolen in front of their faces. They wanted their votes to count. On election, Mr. Speaker, inasmuch as the honorable member was reading from documents and so on, he never told us that election day violence was incited by the insensitivities of they on the other side. Let us recall in the morning at St. Sidwell School, a known PPP miscreant ended up.
Honourable Member, I think we should try to keep our language somewhat careful.
Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to describe him because I didn't want to call his name.
Honourable Member, no, you should not call his name.
I will not call his name, sir.
And no, you will not describe them. Whoever to whom you refer, you will not say miscreant. Please proceed.
Well, a well-known and mischievous fellow who operates for the PPP. and has been in constant trouble all over Georgetown. He turned up in the midst of a polling station when he was not named on the list. No, I'm not, no. He's much shorter. And it is only the intervention of, the wise intervention of the current president, who was leader of the opposition then, that allowed him to enjoy a good life now. Got no broken jaw, he's lucky.
To stay with that.
We also, I also have...
Honorable Member Giltashira, you wish the floor?
Mr. Speaker, I really take umbrage on the point of order and to do with contents of speeches. That one, I understand your ruling to deal with not naming a person who's not a member of this House. However, to call the person a miscreant of the People's Progressive Party is unacceptable, sir. And secondly, sir, that this person was seriously injured and in hospital. I think these insensitive and derogatory tones do not behove this House at all, sir. And it's sad, it's a sad day. Thank you.
Member, please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, the incident which really took me to Sparendam police station is one in which another PPP, known PPP supporter, who once operated a cinema in Georgetown, was seen in presence at the polling station. And he approached the polling station under the guise that he was there to collect a ballot box. And the residents promptly turned him away. Mr. Speaker, that matter ended up in an accident on the public road, and the handling of that matter there is what took me to Sparendam police station, to the divisional commander, a member of the public. Mr. Speaker, the culminative effect of provocative acts is one which results in communal violence. It happened, there's sufficient justification.